All right, y'all. All right, y'all. All right. Uh okay, y'all. So, you know, a lot of people do not agree with me with Princella. When I first started listening to Princella, I said she's wrong, which I still say she's wrong. She's not a good influence. I do still say that. However, her as being a person that is going to have a negative effect on the major portion of the heterosexual community. I have changed. I've changed my mind on that. I've turned the corner on that. I think she's going to be a plus for the heterosexual population, especially the men. She's going to definitely be a plus for the male population. Oh, Clarence. Oh, Clarence, she's wrong, Clarence. Oh, no, you're pushing this wrong. How could you do this, Clarence? Right. But if you do the mathematics behind the scenes, right? Once you get past the emotional, I can't believe she's telling all these women to go to be in lesbianism, right? But when you crunch the numbers behind the scenes, she's actually going to be a positive, and I'll explain that. She's going to be a positive for men that are actually trying to date and find good women out here. She's going to clear the deck. She's going to pull a lot of those broken people over and drop them off on the lesbian, community. And so, if that's the case, it's going to be a net win for you as a man, especially if you're out here trying to date women and you're trying to find someone who is going to be able to be in a long-term relationship with you, a good long-term relationship with you. She's going to provide what do you call that? She's going to help you because she's going to remove a lot of broken people. She's going to remove them. Now, who, in my opinion, who should be upset are the pimps, right? She's gonna remove a lot of people that the pimps could be misusing out of the way, right? Right, the Pookies, the Ray Rays, the people that are more susceptible to being abused and taken advantage of. She's going to remove those people. So I could see, and really, the number one people that should be upset is the lesbians. The lesbians should say, "Wait a minute." The lesbians are the one that really should be coming out and say, "Wait a minute," because if they really do the thing, if they really do the crush the numbers, they say, "Wait a minute." The good women ain't, you're not bringing the good women with you. You're bringing the broken and tore up women with you. And you're not going to get them therapy. You're not telling them to go to therapy. You're telling them to listen to you. The lesbians, so you sending them still broken and you bringing them over here. See, the lesbians are the ones, in my opinion, the lesbians, the pimps, and the Pookies and the Ray Rays, they're the ones that should be upset. Not men that are actually out there trying to find good women. Because good women are not going to listen to Princella. They're not. Women that are having normal experiences, some ups, some downs, they're not, they have no reason to listen to Princella, in my opinion. I could be wrong. But in my opinion, Clarence, have you seen some of the women that listen to Princella? They fine. Who cares how fine somebody is if they toe up mentally? Who cares? You really want to get into bed with a woman that's fine, that you wake up and they standing over you with a knife? I mean, I don't care how fine somebody is. I don't want that. When I go to sleep, man, the only person I want looking at me is somebody that cares about me. May God watch over me, watch over us. But man, I don't want somebody crazy just because they look good. I'm willing to deal with their insanity. No. That's an unfortunate lesson that we've been taught as men, that as long as the beauty appearance is at a certain level, anything goes. You should be willing to deal with almost anything. No. That's not how we should be rolling as men. right? There's a certain type of women. There's a certain type of woman that's good for you. There's a certain type of woman that's good for you. And there's a certain type of woman that's not good for you. And you need to be able to recognize the difference, know the difference between the two, and leave the woman that's not good for you, and only deal with women that have the potential to be something and grow with you, right? Maybe it don't work out, right? Maybe it don't work out, but at least you only spending time with women that actually have a motivation and they're hardwired for being in a good relationships. Princella is only going to pull people that are not hardwired for good relationships. They're hardwired for bad relationships. So let her pull them off. Let her scoop them out. That's what I'm saying. We need somebody pulling the poison fish out of the lake. Go ahead, Priscilla, get them. Why are we? Here's a man in the boat pulling all the poison fish out of the lake that we all go to fish in. He's going to pull them all out and take them to another lake and drop them all in there. And the people, are fussing at the person pulling the poison fish out, saying, you know what, you should be using a reel. See, you just using a fly fishing. You should be using a reel and a rod. That's crazy. Who cares how they doing it? If they're doing it, who cares how they doing it? Right? Okay, so let me tell y'all my philosophy real quick, because we ain't going to take a long time. I don't think we're going to take a long time. My philosophy on Princella is this. Do I agree with her? No, I don't. As far as some of the quote unquote factual statements she's made, no, I don't agree with her. I don't think that, of course, men are capable of love. Of course they are. That's foolish. And if she ever wants to come here and prove that women can regenerate themselves, prove it. Prove it. Prove it. But you cannot mathematically prove that. There's no mathematics you can do nowhere where you can prove that a woman can regenerate herself, and women can regenerate themselves as only in the female form. That's no way. You need sperm to ignite an egg. The explosion happens when the sperm meets the egg. The sperm has the live germ in it. The egg has the dormant germ in it. What do you mean dormant, Clarence? I mean, it's dormant. It needs to be ignited. It needs to be motivated. It needs to be, pushed into action by the sperm. The sperm is what brings life and injects life into the egg, which is dormant. And then once the sperm brings the energy there, boom. Now the egg has the energy and the living mechanism in it to go and expand and do what it was already set up to do. But Clarence, what happens if the sperm doesn't penetrate the egg? Well, unfortunately for the egg, the female's body will push it out as waste, right? Because it's ungerminated. It's not alive. It wasn't brought into life. So nothing further can happen with it. It's just waste at that point. Oh, Claire, you can't say that. What about Princella said that? No, I know what Princella said. That's why she ain't gonna never come over here. Because we gonna tear her ass up with the mathematics. She'll never come over here. Never, ever. And I respect Princella. I'm not mad at her. I respect her. I just know that, why would she come over here? We'll literally tear her apart limb from limb just with the mathematics. I don't care nothing about her personal life and her sexual orientation. That is irrelevant, has nothing to do with nothing. We just talking facts. We just talking about actual facts. We just talking actual facts, right? So you can't even get past that. But you want me to read your book. You already got these other different contradictions out there, but you want me to read your book. Well, most of the time when a person is pushed to read a book, they have been inspired to read that book by other comments or sayings or abbreviations from that book that make sense to that person. And that person says, hey, that makes sense to me. Or I'm interested to learn further about that. But I'm always going to have my eyes open because we were taught in Islam is mathematics and mathematics is Islam. So I'm always going to have my eyes open. If whatever you say has to make sense mathematically. And if it doesn't mathematically make sense, then you need to explain to me why it doesn't make sense mathematically. And if I can dig that, I can dig that. But it has to make sense. I can't, if you're going to do something and say, hey, look, yeah, 2 + 2 is 17. What? Wait a minute, what? Yeah, 2 + 2 is 17. Just believe, I'm an author. Believe me when I tell you that, right? Well, where's your proof? How can you prove that? In mathematics, we have proofs, right? You have to prove what you're talking about in mathematics. Okay, prove it, right? Well, I'm not going to prove it because you got to read my book. Are you going to prove it in the book? I didn't say I was going to prove it in the book. You just got to read my book first. Oh. Anyway, let's listen to a little bit of Princella, because I know y'all, man, y'all probably already, man, like, Clarence, we going to kill you, Clarence. We see you, we going to pull you apart. You supposed to hate Princella like the rest of us. I do not. I have no problem with Princella except for the lies she tells. Other than that, I have no problem with her. I think she's just like the average grifter out here, man. She's trying to make some money. She's trying to get, she's got a following. And now she's trying to, what's the word? Take advantage of the situation that's come before her, right? Remember Polite? Polite first started out, black people. I want black people to do well. I want black people to do well financially. Everything sounded great. Everything sounded great. And then at some point when the money started coming in, at some point when the accolades started coming in, that's where you caught the left turn, right? That's where it went this way. But all the while, behind the scenes, it was already left, right? Because his personality, he already had problems in his personality already. That he didn't want to get therapy for, right? I can't go to therapy. What about Polite? I don't need no therapy. I'm above therapy. I'm Princella. I'm above therapy. I don't need to go to therapy, right? I got a business to run here. I got a business to run. Okay. I say let Princella run her business. I say let her do it. It's going to be, in my opinion, it's going to be a net positive for men in the sexual marketplace, in the heterosexual marketplace. It's going to be a positive for them. They don't even know it. They're attacking the girl when they should be patting her on the back. They should, the men, in the heterosexual men should be supporting Princella the most, in my opinion. And when I say supporting her, I mean standing back, letting her do her thing. I'm not saying we're never going to send women to Princella. We wouldn't send no women there. But if she's out here doing her work, scooping up the bottom of the barrel, let her do it. The bottom of the barrel? What do you mean, Clarence? I mean women that will not listen to right guidance. They will not. They already will not. They're already off the reservation. They're not going to listen to right guidance. They don't want to follow no discipline of religion or any other discipline that might help them remove some of these traumas, or at least have them to be able to deal with some of these traumas. They're not going to do that. They're going to consistently pick Pookies and Ray Rays, pimps and hustlers, and consider them good choices, right? Because they got a nice car and they dress nice, they got money and all this, right? So they're going to consider that a good choice in a man, right? And then when the man abuse, misuse, and run all over them, they're going to say, I don't know what happened. I know all men are messed up, right? No, sweetheart. It's the men you choosing, right? So those are the, and then they're gonna pick, and then they're gonna continue to pick men that's gonna be unaliving them, right? I say if Priscilla, the one thing I think I have in common with Priscilla, even Cynthia G, I want this violence against women to stop and children. I want violence against everyone to stop. But I think I will put it the priority that the violence against women and children at the top, right? Especially black women and children. I think that violence it's just off the charts per capita. It's off the chart. So I think that if we put that at the top of the list, if the safety of the women and the children is at the top of the list, then what in the negotiation, we have to negotiate what's happening here. And in that negotiation, we might have to take the fact that there's somebody like Priscilla out there. Yes, she might be talking crazy. But if we think about it, the safety, if going over to the lesbian camp is going to be a safer bet in most cases. Clarence, you know that lesbians do a lot of violence. They do. I'm not saying they don't. But the lesbians can't even hold a candle to the Pookies and Ray Rays over here. The Pookies and the Ray Rays. They don't hold a candle. They can't even on their best day hold a candle to the brothers that's out here doing stuff to the women and the children over here. They can't even hold a candle on their best day. So if they are going to be, in my opinion, statistically safer. Now, Clarence, they're not statistically safer. See, lesbians do the same amount of violence. Okay. But everybody says that, but nobody proves it. Okay. Show me where lesbians are doing the same amount of violence as Pookie and Ray Ray. Show me. But I never can get that piece of paper in front of me. So until somebody brings that piece of paper and not just saying it, I'll just keep on. I'll stick with my statement because as far as I can see, the men are stacking the bodies. Yes, there are very violent lesbians. There's a lot of them out there, right? But the level of violence that they are at, where I mean, when we're talking about stacking the bodies and diddling the children and stuff, they don't hold a candle to the Pookies and the Ray Rays. They don't even hold a candle. They can't even come close. Yet they're out there doing it. I'm not saying they're not doing it, but what I'm saying is the numbers of the lesbians that's out there with the violence and the molestation, they can't even come. They don't even hold a candle to the Pookies and the Ray Rays, right? They just don't. The numbers are just not even close. Therefore, that would suggest to us that the women that listen to Princella would be statistically safer. Now, would it be a better situation spiritually and mentally? Probably not. Because why? Just like if these people stay in the heterosexual market and they get with a good dude, they're gonna rip his life apart. Even a halfway good dude, they're gonna rip his life apart. Why? Because the original issue has not been dealt with therapy. I say that's the first step. If you're not going to attach yourself to a discipline that would help you resolve that, such as a religious discipline or some other type of discipline that would help you resolve that, if you're not willing to do that, then therapy is the very next step that should be there, right? But if you're not going to do either one of those two things, you're just going to be out here and say, I'm going to wing it myself. And I'm going to tell you what the strategy that most people use. This is men and women that use the same strategy. They use the strategy of emotional obligation. Emotional obligation. They use the same strategy of emotional obligation. where they expect you to be obligated emotionally, right? They want you to be obligated emotionally. What do you mean obligated emotionally, Clarence? What I mean obligated emotionally, man, is what they want you to be. They will play a role, right? If you're dating someone, they play a role. They don't let you see the red flags. They try to hide these red flags from you. And when you start asking questions, what most of these people do, especially women, what women will mostly do is they will start bumping up the sexual tension in the in the situation. They will bump up sexual tension. So you start asking questions. Hey, wait a minute, what? Your brother calls you that many times in the evening? What's going on? Oh, that's nothing. And they just start bumping up sexual tension in the situation, right? And they get your mind off of the red flags that you're seeing. You go out with the girl and she's on her phone 24/7. She's checking her phone. If I was in a date with somebody and they were checking their phone, they have once or twice, because maybe they might got children, right? Okay, you got once or twice to check your phone, right? If you got to check your phone that much, obviously you don't need to be out with me, right? Obviously. Claire, who is you? You ain't nobody. I know I ain't nobody. I know I ain't nobody. I know. But I'm just not going to allow myself to be disrespected by nobody. I don't care how fine they think they are. I don't care how much of a catch they think they are. Cool, you can go disrespect the next dude. I'm sure there's a dude out there that'll put up with those shenanigans because you have this high beauty appearance. Go ahead. That's fine with me. See, I don't have, because of my love for the Lord, man. And I ain't no prude or nothing like that, man, but I know that I got somebody watching my back. So I'm okay with being left alone. I'm okay with, like, what does Hink say? Hink 75 say? Leave him at the restaurant, Clarence. I'm okay with leaving you at the restaurant. That's fine. I'll even pay for the meal. Hey, I'll pay for it. Where you going? I'm leaving. You obviously got a lot of stuff here to check on. That's okay. That's okay. I mean, that's the way your life is set up right now, right? I'm not looking for somebody with whose life is that set up where they can't, if you out on a date with me, I'm expecting you to pay attention to me. I should be your focus. And if a person is on their phone while you there and they constantly on their phone, they're letting you know the kind of interest they have in you. See, you want people to say everything to you in English, right? I'm not interested in you. So you can confront them, right? But most people, especially women, are skilled at setting up situations that you're not going to get the chance to confront them. Right? They don't like you. They're going to still eat them food and everything, and they're going to say, I'll call you, and you ain't never going to hear from them again. They call that ghosting, right? You'll never hear from them again, right? Why? Because they don't want to deal with the confrontation, right? They don't want to tell you your breath stank, or your teeth was ugly, or your face is ugly, you got bumps on your nose, or they don't want to tell you, or you don't make the kind of money they make, or you're not interesting to me, whatever, right? Because most of these women today, they want to be entertained. They're looking for a court jester. You got to pay their bills. Then you got to entertain them. You got to make them laugh. Then if they're crying, you got to stop them from crying. You got to be the counselor. You got to be all this stuff, right? Which is cool if they're going to reciprocate that. But they don't want to reciprocate, a lot of them. They don't want to reciprocate that. Why? Because they feel like, hey, I have to go to vagina. I have to go to vagina. I am the table, right? I am the table. Oh boy, man. Oh boy. I mean, we have such poor understandings of what the other person is. We just have so poor understandings, man. Okay, so let's look at Princella And let's see what she's talking about.
It's your boy Zaddy P, alter ego to the Queen Maker. Back at you with a fresh new trim and the 41 Shades of Men, the pursuit to subdue and use you. It's 41.
Okay, so she made a book. It's 41 Shades of Men, right? The pursuit and the pursuit to subdue and use you, right? Now, here's the thing. Here's the thing. If you are sexually selecting men that pursue that subdue and use you, whose fault is that? There are men out here that don't want to use you. Now, I'm not going to say there's men that don't want to have sex with you. Obviously, any man that approaches you, I would say 90% of them, 99% of the time, they want to have sex with you at some point. It just depends. It's just the strategy that most of them are willing to use to get there, right? Some men are willing to wait. They want to get to know you as a person to see if they, at the time when they do have sex with you, you're not going to be no crazy person, right? Which to me is the smarter way to do it. But there's some men that want to just run through you, right? But if you keep selecting men that want to run through you or use you or put you out on the blade or do whatever they're going to do with you, right? Misuse you, mishandle you, and mishandle your children. Whose fault is that? This is the main issue right here. We can't get somebody to admit that, hey, you know what? I am responsible for the women that I bring into my life. If I keep bringing crazy women into my life, who can I blame? Who can I say is bringing these women into my life? I'm bringing these women in. These women are coming in here, keying my car, throwing rocks through my windows. Who is doing that? Me. I am selecting a particular type of woman that would do stuff, that would even entertain doing something like that. Why? Okay, how can I blame women? How can I say it's all women? No, it's not. It's the women I'm selecting. I'm selecting Shaniquas. I'm Shaniqua selecting out here. And I'm sexually selecting women that are hazardous. Well, and I'm expecting that at some point I'm not. No, I have an attraction that needs to be analyzed and reevaluated. My selection process needs to be reevaluated. Why am I selecting these type of women? What types of things are I'm attracted to in these women that has me selecting these type of women? Why am I not learning from the results that I've been getting from being with these types of women? But you know what? A person like Princella says, oh, no. It's not that I'm selecting bad people. Oh, no. Because you can't see it, Clarence. You can't see it up front. You can always see it up front. They're always going to give you signs if you got your eyes open, if you got your ears open. But they didn't even say anything, Clarence. It's not what they said. It's what they didn't say. See, it's what they didn't say. You got to listen for what they don't say. You got to look at what a person doesn't do. Clarence, this man loved me. He do this. Oh, really? Oh, okay. Did he open your car door? No, he don't open my car door. We 50-50. We 50-50. Okay. You really think a man that won't even open your car door for you is going to protect you and provide for you? See, we don't even think, man. We don't even think like normal people, man. We so broken as a people. We just so broken and damaged. We don't even think like normal people, right? A normal person would say, you ain't even opening my car door, right? You go out with a woman, you go over her house, and you mention that you might want something to eat, right? She ain't willing to make you a sandwich, put something together for you. You think you're going to You gonna have a lifetime of good with a woman that ain't gonna cook for you? How's that gonna work? Unless you a chef yourself, how's that gonna work? If you a chef, maybe that'll work. But if you busy trying to put some what do you call that, generational wealth together, you got time to cook too. I mean, we gotta have. See, that's the thing, man. A relationship is a team. It's a team situation, and on a team, you have to have roles. Everybody has a role, right? You can't have 5 point guards. You can't have five centers. You can't have 5 power forwards. Everybody has to have a role, right? You can't have 11 quarterbacks. You just can't. You got to have, you got to have a running back. You got to have a halfback, right? You got to have a slot man. You got to have a lot of different things, right? And everybody has their role. You got to have a kicker, right? This dude just comes out and kicks the ball through the uprights, right? But you got to have, people have to have roles on the team. And that's what I think the women of today, with people like Princella, who are teaching them all kind of crazy different scenarios, they just don't look at it as a team situation. Because Princella said out of her own mouth that everybody is either a pimp, a hoe, or a pimp, a hoe, or a trick. I guess that means her daughter as well, right? I don't know. I mean, but she said everybody in the world. That definitely means me and my granddaughter, right? Whatever. We either one of those 3, right? According to her theology, right? Anyway, let's listen to more of Princella.
On different types of dudes and what they pursue and use women for. A lot of them ain't gonna tell you the game. They just gonna keep using it on you. But I'm your zaddy.
You know what? That kills me, man. That kills me because she's pretty much doing the same thing. She's just saying it's okay for me to do it because I'm a female, but the men are doing it to you. That's wrong. For them to do it to you is wrong. But I can run this game on you because I'm a female, so that's okay. Hey, but shout out to Princella. I definitely think that she is going to. I definitely think that she's going to. I definitely think that she's going to have a positive effect on the heterosexual sexual market by getting the broken and busted women that are emotionally damaged out of the situation and leaving. Because women that are not broken and busted and damaged are not going to listen to Princella. They have no reason to listen to her. Right? She's only gonna pull in women that are busted. And like I said, I think the people that should be crying the loudest is the lesbians, man. They should be like, Priscilla, what you doing? Yeah, it's not like you bringing the best of the. You ain't bringing the best of the rest over here. You bring the worst of the least out over here. What's going on? They should be the ones trying to fight her, right? But they'll find out later. But anyway, let's get back to Princella. Princella says, hey, man, it's 41 Shades of Men. I know every man, right? How would she know every man? See, that don't even make mathematical sense. How would you know every man unless you dated every man and you spent time with men, right? Every type of man. But it's clear that you've only spent time with people that try to take advantage of you most of the time. That's clear. How would you know what a good? See, most of y'all like this, man. You wouldn't even know a good man if he came up in and tapped you on the shoulder. You wouldn't even know him. You think he was a sucker because he's a square dude. Okay. Yeah. You don't want no square dude, right? So go on over to the lesbian camp. Salute to Princella. Go, Princella, go. I say Princella should be allowed to do everything she's doing. She's doing a good work for them. Now, the women that she's pulling in, unfortunately, since they will not listen to right guidance anyway, right? right? God has set up laws. God set up everything, right? He set up everything so the people didn't need no kings, no queens, no none of that stuff. You had God's law. That's all you need. You don't need no kings and no queens and none of that, right? But the people say, we want a ruler. We want a ruler in the earth. God said, I'm going to give you a ruler in the earth. I'm going to give you a ruler. Do you want a ruler? I'm going to give you a ruler in the earth. I'm going to put a ruler in the earth for you. So says the Quran. Paraphrase. I will put a ruler in the earth for you. You screaming out you want a ruler? I gave you everything you need. You don't need no ruler. You don't need nobody. That way you don't have to worry about corruption. You don't have to worry about a person being corrupted by power or none of that stuff. You don't have to worry about that. I already gave you all the laws you need, right? They said, yeah, but we need to look at somebody. We need to look at their castle. We need to look at them. We can't look at you. He said, I'm going to put a ruler in the earth. Okay. Okay. He said, you want a ruler? I got you. I got y'all. I got y'all. I'm giving you just what you're asking for. The people that's smart gonna leave this ruler alone. The people that's really following me, they're gonna leave this ruler alone. But the people that really want, because they mad because they can't see me, they don't have direct access to me, like direct access meaning that they can't just pick up the phone and call me. You got better than picking up the phone. You can pray. That's picking up the phone to God, right? But you want to be able to pick up the phone and talk to God and have God be on the phone with your bullshit, right? God, I don't know what I should do. And God would tell you, hey, leave the man alone. But God, oh my God, he's so good in the bedroom, God. Oh my God, you want to run game on God. So he said, hey, look, man, you want somebody who you can talk to, who you can be able to run game on and corruption can set in? I'm going to place a ruler there for you. I'm going to place a ruler in the earth for you. Right? And nobody else, I'll do it. Right? Now, so here's your ruler, your princess, your princella. All right, let's get back. Clarence, you crazy. Clarence, what are you talking about? I know. I'm just waiting for the person to bring me the mathematics to dispute anything I'm saying. Bring me anything to dispute what I'm saying. All right.
Hey, baby, and I got your best interest at heart. Yo, this your Kane, the pro-black hotel? Man, I know a lot of y'all fell for that one, didn't you? That dude is the one that then sold a black woman on struggling as a black man and needing her to sacrifice herself so to help him fight white supremacy. Me.
See? Let me tell y'all something, man. Every community has hustlers. From the hoteps to the politicians to the mafias to the, everybody, every community. The religious communities, every community has hustlers in it. That's how you know if you really following the message, because you won't be thrown off by when you run into one of these dudes or one of these women. They got hustlers in them, right? You go into the church and these people talking crazy. You got to know, or the mosque or the temple, right? And they appear like they are on it until you see them do something. You see them do or say something that's off the reservation. You go, wait a minute. That ain't part of what we're supposed to be doing. Yeah, I know, but just, I just do it. Yeah, this is just what I do. This is my little thing. Yeah, but we ain't supposed to smoke. Yeah, I know, but I just hit this blunt every once in a while. You know what I'm saying? It's cool. It's cool. Okay. Now you got a decision to make. You got a decision to make. What's up with this person? Right? You got to take a better look at them, see if how sincere they are. Maybe they got that issue, right? But you got to see how sincere they are about doing what's right. I will put a ruler in the earth for you. All right, here we go.
Meanwhile, he gaming her the whole time with pseudo consciousness and pseudoscience.
That sounds like somebody we know. That sounds like somebody we know. That sounds like a princess we know. That sounds like somebody we know. But hey, man, push on, Princella, push on, man. Go, Princella, go. I think she's going to be a tremendous positive, have a tremendous positive effect on the heterosexual dating market by getting rid of a lot of these broken women. And Pookie and Ray Ray ain't gonna have no place to go. And then we gonna slow down on some of these single parent births that are just killing the black community, right? Abandoned children and discarded children and mishandled children. We could slow all that down because these two people, the Pookies, will not be able to catch up to the women that's going over to the lesbian camp, right there over the lesbian camp. So the Pookies won't have nobody to procreate with. They're going to have to figure something else out, right? We'll stop all these children being born that are just being abused and misused and mishandled. Right? We can slow that down. Y'all don't hear me, man. If you really do the mathematics of this situation, you'll see what I'm talking about. The mathematics of the situation, man. Once we remove them, take them over to the lesbian camp, can we ensure that they're never going to have no problems? No, of course not. They're going to have problems no matter where they go because they need therapy. You can take them to the lesbian camp. You can leave them over here in the heterosexual market. But here in the heterosexual market, see, the issue that holds on in the heterosexual market is that the problem that we have is they will create this obligation, right? They will hide who they are until you obligated to deal with them, right? For example, they will hide who they really are. Like they will hide these red flags. They will try to hide, rather, these red flags until the point where you either commit to them or to be with them in a monogamous relationship, or you commit to them through marriage, right? Now you're committed. Now, once they feel that you obligated to deal with their issue, that's when they will let the issue out. And to me is not unfair. That's wrong, because a person that obligated themselves to you, they obligated themselves to you under the understanding that the situation was one way, but all the while it was the other way, and you knew it. And you hid it. That's like somebody having the monster and they hide the fact that they have the monster. And then after you marry to them, that's when they say, oh, by the way, let me let you know, I got the monster. I'm HIV positive. Why you didn't say that up front? Well, I didn't think that you was going to be okay with that. I thought I was going to lose you. That's just, it's the same principle, right? If you had known up front the person had the monster, yeah, you probably would still care about them, but you might not have probably obligated yourself to be with somebody who told you that up front. The average person probably wouldn't do that. Oh, you're a nice person, everything like that, but I don't want to be obligated to something like that. There's nothing wrong with that. Oh, Clarence, this wrong. How could you just not want to be with somebody just because they got the monster? Of course, the average person doesn't want to deal with something like that. And they got a right to not deal with that. There's nothing wrong with that. There's a small minority of people that would say, you know what, so what? You got the monster. Let's just wear, protection. Let's just use protection and hope for the best. But the average person is going to say, you know what? Hey, I love you. I wish, I hope, I think you're an awesome person. But that is not, I just can't get past that. I didn't come to sign up for something like that. And you should have told me up front. Anyway, it's the same principle. It's the same principle. But oh boy, hang on to your hat, gang. She's going to pretty much describe herself in this in this video, right?
He sell her the game so he could feed his defeated ego.
Holy smokes. Does that sound like somebody we know? Does that sound like a princess we know?
Get sex, have babies, make money while she left holding the bag.
I say she's doing the same exact thing except for having the babies. I think she's doing the same exact thing except for having the babies. What do y'all think? But I say, like I said, go Princella, go. Go Princella, go.
Every woman needs that one Splackavelli, a brother she can call when her man ain't doing her right, and work it all night.
One thing I can say about Princella, she can sing. That's what she really should be doing, is singing. That's what she really should be doing. She should be singing. Absolutely, man. But very, very intelligent sister, very talented sister. Unfortunately, if only, like they used to say back in the day in the 70s on the superhero shows, if only she would use her powers for good, right? Very intelligent, very smart. If only she would use her powers for good, that would, but when I say good, I mean not just taking people and saying, okay, let me just take you from here, since you broken, let me take you from here and put you over here. You still broken, but you got me. Instead of doing that, you just say, hey, look, are you interested in really fixing yourself? Okay, then you have to adopt a discipline that will help you fix yourself. And if this is not going to work for you, then that's when you need to go to therapy. And some of y'all, maybe you need to investigate what I'm talking about and see if that'll work for you first. If not, maybe you need to, and you don't feel like a religious discipline will help you, then hey, maybe therapy is right there. Therapy. But you know what? Most of us, we too proud to go to therapy, right? We too proud. So we just don't go to therapy. We don't want all of the stuff that we've been through. We don't want to relive that, right? That's valid. That's a valid point. We don't want to relive that pain that we went through, right? And we don't know what else other pain we have even forgotten about that might be affecting us, right? So we don't want to relive that pain. So that's why we run from therapy. That's valid. That's a very valid point. I can't say that, oh, that's stupid that you don't want to. No, that's a very, very valid point. The fear of the pain that's going to come through once you actually start going into therapy, that is a very valid point. However, the pain you're going to go through, going through those sequence of events, is going to help you get to a better point. Like, it's like the pain of when you going into a surgery. Okay, hey, you got a bullet in you, man. We got to open you up to get that bullet out. Okay, you're going to be sore for a couple of days. But it's worth it to get that bullet out before the infection sets in, right? Okay, here's your ruler. A ruler has been placed in the earth for you. Here's your ruler. Are you going to follow that ruler? Or are you going to get therapy? Are you going to use some other type of discipline? I don't have the answer for you because you are an individual person. There's some people that don't need religion. They don't need nothing. They can do the mental jujitsu in their head that they can shake off stuff that happened to them as a kid. That is very rare in people. That is very rare. And it does affect them in their adult life. That is very rare. Most people are going to need the help to do that. Y'all got to watch these life coaches, man, because a lot of them, instead of sending you to therapy, they tell you just come and talk to me. Have a Zoom call with me every week. But you ain't therapy. You ain't a therapist. I know, but that's okay. See, I got a plan. I can tell. And so, hey, watch yourself with these life coaches, man. I'm not saying all of them are like that. Some of them are okay enough that they honest enough with you to tell you, hey man, what you going through is so severe, you need therapy. Once you hook up with a therapist, come back and see me. There's some like coaches that do that. But most of them, especially the ones out here on YouTube, you better watch yourself. They're going to tell you to come talk to me. I got the answer for you. I am the way. I am the light. Right? Biters. Biting it off of somebody we know already, right? Okay, so let's wrap this thing up with Princella, man, because I don't really want to talk about her anymore. She's invited to come over here if she wants to. I've invited her a second time to come over here and talk. I'm sure she'll never come over here. Obviously, she won't. I don't think she's a coward or anything like that. I just think it just be a bad business move for her to come over here. Bad, horrible business move for her, right? And I think that I don't want to stop her work. I personally don't want to stop her. I would like to stop her from lying. That part I would like to stop her from. But as far as, if she's going to scoop the bad fish she's going to take the poison fish out of the lake, let her take them out. What is the problem there? Right? Because see, here's what it ultimately comes down to. Would you rather Princella not do her work and the women that have expressed and demonstrated this high incompetence at the sexual selection, heterosexual sexual selection, these women that have demonstrated high incompetence by only selecting pookies and ray-rays and dudes and pimps and dudes that's gonna go upside their head and go upside their children's head and abuse them and molest them and stuff like that. Would you rather those women and ultimately get unalived? Would you rather them stay in the marketplace where they keep selecting the worst of the worst and having all this bad stuff happen to them, or maybe you have to take you have to compromise and have somebody like Princella take them over someplace where that stuff may not be happening to them, but they're in an environment where it's slower and they can see maybe they need more than just lesbianism. Maybe they need some therapy. Maybe they need a religious discipline. Maybe they need something else to help them to see that, to help them get over something. Maybe there's something in them that has them in it. Because see, once they get over to the lesbian camp and stuff start happening to the lesbian camp, they're going to have to say, wait a minute. I thought it was men that was the issue. Oh, you mean they have issues over here in the lesbian camp too? Wait a minute. So it's not just because the person is a man that we having an issue. It's because it must be something I'm doing or attracting people to that are like this. See, those evaluations going to have to happen once they get over there, right? Because right now you got somebody like Princella saying, oh, it's all just because they men. Let's go over to the lesbian camp. Come on, y'all. Here we go. Right? And so they go over to the lesbian camp. And then they find out, there's pimps and hustlers and pookies and ray-rays over in the lesbian camp as well. Why do I keep it? Now I'm attracting women that's like this. What's the problem? It can't be because they're men. See, that's when their eyes are going to open. Once they get over there, their eyes will open because they say, I'm still dealing with the same issue over in the lesbian camp. And then that's when they're going to have to do a reevaluation and say, it can't be just because they're men, because I'm dealing with the same stuff over here and I'm only dealing with women. That can't be it. It's got to be deeper than that. And then that's when they're going to have to take a deep dive. Right? Shout out to Princella. Go, Princella, go. I think she's doing a great work, just like Cynthia G. I think Cynthia G is doing a great work. She's getting the bottom of the barrel, the people that are broken and won't and refuse to listen, right? Like God taught him, hey, look, man, you got everything. You don't need no ruler. No, we need a ruler. We want a ruler in the earth. We want a ruler. Okay, you want a ruler? I'm going to give you a ruler. I'm everything. I gave you everything you need. You don't need no ruler. But you don't want to listen to me? Cool. I'm going to give you a ruler. There's your ruler right there. I have placed a ruler in the earth for you. Right? You mean God's going to put somebody better than himself out there? Is that even possible? But he told you, hey, you don't need that. I gave you law. You don't need, when you have law, you don't need rulers when you have law. You don't need leaders when you have law. The law is the leader. The law is the ruler. We follow law, God's law. We don't need no one person to step up there and say, hey, I'm this great person. We don't need that. But y'all want it so bad? Okay, here you go. But watch your step, family. Watch your step. Watch your step. If a person can't show you the mathematics behind what they're talking about, I would be very leery of getting behind their message. I am not, let me make it clear, I am not behind Princella's message at all. I don't subscribe to it. I don't think it's a relevant message. I don't. What I do think is that she is going to do, this may save and preserve some females that have demonstrated their incompetence in selecting men for themselves in a safe manner. This may help them. This may help them by bringing them over to the lesbian camp. This may help them. This may save them, right? Because listen, do you want these women to continue to pick men that are unaliving them? See, that's what you say. If you're saying, in my opinion, this is what you're saying. If you're saying, hey, we don't want Princella out here, but Princella's only picking the people up that having the most issues in the heterosexual market, and therefore they're picking the people that are unaliving them. They're picking the people that are abusing their kids, abusing them, taking advantage of them. She's only going to get those people because those are the kind of people that are going to respond to this type of message. Women that are dating and having that are enjoying dating, and they understand there's ups, there's downs. You're going to meet some good dudes and you're going to meet some not so good dudes, right? That's just the nature of the marketplace. Women that are going through that's the normal situation over there. Princella's only going to get the people that are having horrible results. Those are the only people that are going to be motivated to listen to her. And they're having horrible results because there's something in them that they're not addressing that has them conducting themselves in a way that attracts the Pookies and the Ray Rays. Either the way they speak, the way they dress, the way they conduct themselves, right? Or the way they are and their evaluation process of men. That needs to be looked at and readjusted. What they find sexually attractive, I find sexually attractive, is certain type of energy that men have that leads to, once you get closer to it, it leads to destruction. It leads to, harm, hurt, right? We can't be out here playing games, right? Life is too short. Life is too short to be unhappy all the time. You're gonna have some. We all gonna experience some unhappiness. Clarence, in marriage, you're supposed to be happy 100% of the time, Clarence. You're supposed to be married and you're supposed to be happy. If you ain't married, if you ain't happy 100% of the time, you ain't in a happy marriage, right? Right? Who's happy 100% of the time? Single people ain't happy 100% of the time, right? But married people, some kind of way, you're supposed to be happy 100% of the time, right? You want to be happy most of the time. But there are going to be some challenges in the marriage, right? There's going to be some challenges in the marriage, especially you do over 10 years. There's going to be some challenges, right? There's going to be some misunderstandings. There's going to be some loud arguments. There's going to be some money come up missing. There's going to be some bills that didn't get paid. You're going to go to some funerals. You're going to go to some baby showers, right? If you have kids, that's another element to the thing, right? You don't think this kid is the best thing since sliced bread, and the principal gonna call you into the office. You can't believe it. I don't believe it. Not my kid. Your kid was, and the principal gonna tell you, your kid is the wrong leader. You gonna say, man, somebody influenced my kid. They gonna say, no, sir. Your kid is the wrong leader. Your child is the wrong leader of this bunch. I can't believe it. All this time I thought this kid was like an angel, right? You're going to have some challenges in the marriage, right? That's okay. That's why you got vows, right? For better, for worse, for richer, for poor, in sickness and in health. Why? Because some sickness is coming. You have some sickness in a marriage. Somebody gonna get really sick. Somebody gonna be laying on the couch and can't get up for a week or two. Somebody gonna be in the hospital. Somebody gonna have a chronic illness, man. They gotta go to the hospital every week. That's normal. That's what's gonna happen in a marriage. Stuff like that. That's why if you expect to be happy all the time, marriage ain't for you. I agree. If you expect to be happy and entertained all the time, marriage is not for you. Anyway, that's a whole nother conversation. Here I am talking about marriage, and we talking about Princella, who is diametrically opposed to marriage, obviously, right? She's diametrically opposed to the nuclear family, which she has said already out of her own mouth. She said the nuclear family is right. But the nuclear family has survived so many different situations, right? And it is ultimately the best environment to raise children that are had a head on straight. It's the best. It's not the only, right? I'm not saying children that come up in a single parent home don't come out right. I'm not saying they gotta come out wrong. No, just the chances are better when you got all the things you need, emotionally, spiritually, financially, everything else, in a 2-parent household, and the parents got their heads on straight. Chances are better that the kids gonna have their heads on straight, right? But even in a 2-parent household, I got an older son. I mean, that's all he wanted to do was be a gangster. He just wanted to be a gangster. He's a gangster. He just wanted to be a gangster. Okay. All right. What can I do? You raise them up. You play ball with them. You coach with them. You do everything, and you teach them right and everything. And some kids just they just got in their heart that they want to be other than you. They look at you and say, man, you a sucker. You going to work every day? Why would you do that? You a sucker, man. I'm going to be a gangster dude. I don't have to do all that. Right? He a gangster. I mean, he's good. He's a good dude, but I mean, he just got to, just always love being around gangsters, love being a gangster, love doing that. But I mean, he's maturing now. But, I had to ride through all of that stuff. Picking him up from the jail and and picking him up from all kind of crazy places, right? What can you do? And I was in the mosque, right? But what do they say, man? Not that I'm a prophet or anything like that, but they say, well, a prophet is without honor where? In his own home. Prophet, you without honor in your own home. Why? Because most of the time, the people that's around you, they ain't going to understand your mission and your goals. And you might get this revelation of your mission while you in the marriage, right? You may get this revelation may come to you while you are in this marriage. You might be 5 years in, 10 years in, and then all of a sudden you get a revelation. Oh, now I know what I'm supposed to be doing with my life. And that may put extra pressure on the marriage already, right? But that's a whole nother thing. Let me don't go off. Today I want to talk about Princella and let you guys know that, in my opinion, I think she is going to be a plus. She's going to provide a net positive for men that are in the dating market, in the heterosexual selection market, and that are looking for wives, that are looking for long-term companions. She is going to clear out the hurt, the misguided, the dejected, the rejected. She's going to get clear the taken advantage of, definitely the emotionally damaged people, man, the severely emotional damaged people. She's going to remove them and drop them off on the lesbian marketplace, on the lesbian front door. And so the only people should be really mad is the lesbians. I think they the ones that should be upset. But y'all tell me what y'all think. Is Princella so bad? What's so bad about her? What's the bad effect of her? If she's only going to be pulling off the people that are causing havoc in the women that are causing havoc in the heterosexual marketplace, if she's going to be pulling them out of the heterosexual marketplace, what's so bad? Tell me what the bad part is. Her message? We know her message is off. Her intentions? We know her intentions are off. But God can use everybody. God can use anybody. Anybody, any one of us can be used. Whether we got a good message or bad, if God gonna use you, God gonna use you. And she may be that ruler that God placed in here to clear out the dating pool. Think about it, y'all. Think about it. I don't have no problem with Princella personally. I just think she's a liar. I think she's a liar. She's a con man. And unfortunately, I'll probably never get a chance, just like Charleston, I'll never get a chance to confront her face to face. But, that would be a bad business decision for both of them, right? Anyway, y'all tell me what y'all think, man. Y'all think that Princella is good? I know my team, they like, Clarence, we're going to knock you out, right? They think Princella is a bad situation, right? But if you really stop and think about it, if you say, okay, let me think about it, right? Are these women that she's pulling out of here that keep picking these bad men, that's abusing them and taking advantage of them and going upside their head, would they be at least a little safer going up, getting dropped off in the lesbian marketplace? Maybe a little bit. I'm not saying it's I am saying it's a great difference as far as stacking bodies. But now, domestic violence in itself, we know that the lesbian community has a high rate of domestic violence, but is it as high as Pookie and Ray Ray? I don't think so, y'all. Y'all tell me. All right, y'all. Peace.